Hey Logan, thanks for your video. I really enjoyed it. I just have a few pieces of feedback. I think your content was awesome. I loved the structure. I loved the point in your speech where you said, "Here are three things," and then you went on to the things from Warren's campaign website. The sort of headings. I think that made all, because obviously she has a lot of policy content she wants to go through and a lot of things she wants to do, and that made it super easy to digest as a listener. I think that in terms of delivery, there are a couple of, so first of all, I don't know if you were in a swivel chair or what, but you were swaying, you were doing this through the video. So just be conscious of that. I think there were a couple of things that places you could have paused to make something into an applause line. I think, for instance, when you said at the beginning of the speech, when you said you were running for president of the United States, I think that could easily be, like, with a good pause there, that could be an applause line. I think after you say, many of you many of you know me, but for those of you who don't, hello. Like, I think if you deliver that way, that it can be kind of a joke. Like, obviously, your name recognition is really high as a candidate, so, and it kind of punctures the sort of formal setting of a speech. So if you kind of pause and then put some energy into the word hello, it's a little bit funny that way. And then also with the tax return line, when you're talking about how you're going to make everybody release their tax returns, I think that's an attack. That's an attack line. It's a veiled one, but it's an attack against Trump, obviously. So I think you can structure that in such a way to make it rhetorically obvious that that's what you're talking about, and make, kind of pause in such a way to make that sort of an applause line. That said, you had a bunch of, like, I love when you said, you used the phrase hell of a lot, like it's going to take a hell of a lot of work. That was super relatable. Um, your your delivery was very clear. It didn't have verbal distractions. And yeah, I think that, oh, and then one other thing I wanted to say is when you said, among the things this revenue will pay for, when you were talking about the wealth tax, I think you can make that feel more exciting and also more relatable if you say something more sort of plain spoken, like, what are we going to do with that money, or something like that. Um, but I thought that the way you structured it to make all of that content not feel overwhelming, and feel like you were kind of putting things in distinct buckets. So I could remember, oh, what was she going to do about rebuilding our democracy? What was she going to do about, ending corporate welfare? I I thought that stuff that made your speech really effective in terms of conveying all that content. So can't wait to see your final draft.